Howdy partners, and welcome to week 10's video with Oslo and Paris, my 4-H lambs. And I'd like to take a moment to apologize for all the background noise from where I am in my room. There's 4 fans and other air conditioning things that I can hear, so you probably can too. This week started off with something big. On Monday, they got a haircut. Here's what they look like now. They'll get a better, cleaner, nicer looking clip job before fair that includes all of their neck, head, and face. And since I was the one cheering them, I didn't get any pictures of what that looked like during it. Or many pictures at all, for that matter, this week. Their clip job right now doesn't look great for a few reasons. It was my first time ever shearing a sheep, and it's nothing like horse clipping at all. I hope to get some footage for you when I clip them at fair. 2, this was their first time being sheared. Their shears vibrate so that they sound pretty loud and they make a weird feeling. So it's not something animals are always okay with first try, which is understandable and acceptable. And finally, this was also their first time in the stand. This is what that looks like. Though you can't really tell. This is not a picture of Oslo and Paris. This is Brady, who after Oslo is sold will become one of Paris's 2 lamb friends and was bought in the auction in 2018, strangely enough, from the girl who I ended up buying my 2 from. Here's how much wool I took off of them. And then from comparison, here's how much wool you can yield from other sheep. The white piles from Brady are like 300-pound big boy. Then the little brown piles from one of the smallest sheep ever, a Shetland sheep named Willow. Here's pictures of Paris on the stand. Since we've gotten it set up, I've been working on getting them used to it and getting them on and off, just because it'll help us out more in the long run if they're completely comfortable with us, especially with Paris, who I'll have for her whole life. Longer than just a few months like Oslo. Her head in these pictures is not in it correctly, though. Mom was helping me. The way she was holding the grain, she was holding it too high. Their head is supposed to be between the 2 black bars that go like this, just rest in there nicely. And it should fit in there pretty well, because the white chain, which is behind her head, is also supposed to go over her nose. We're just having trouble figuring out how exactly, because unfortunately there's not much info on that online. Sorry for some of the background noise in this. As soon as I pulled this chair out, because all of my chairs I would normally use outside are wet, somebody decided to start working on the road next door over. I hope you don't mind the background change. I am sitting in my backyard, in my area that would be my pond. This pit and slope over here is supposed to be a pond and waterfall. This whole area was a mess about a year ago. I'm just kind of showing you it. Then over quarantine, we worked a lot on it because when my parents bought this house 13 years ago, they were showing pictures of a beautiful pond and waterfall. They bought it in the middle of winter, and when we moved in May, that was not the case. So maybe not this year, but hopefully next year, this pond is back to a functioning pond. And by the way, it's like 7:20 on a Thursday morning, almost a week late for this video. I had originally started editing this video the Sunday, the day after week 10 ended, but I had a few camps and stuff, so that didn't happen. Now I'm just taking any time I can get to finish it. I bought another collar for them. This one, since it's pink and girly, is for Paris. I decided that the collar, since Paris didn't really want to tie on it, I'll bring it for them at fair, just because Paris does like to push out. And it's different catching a loose lamb at home where they're used to running around than at fair where there's other animals and they can cause a lot of trouble. This week they also met a chicken. I know that the chickens have always been around since they've been here, but about a month ago we were finally able to start free-ranging them after problems with fox, and I don't know if I've ever held a chicken up for Oslo and Paris to specifically sniff. Monday they got their fair vet check, which is just kind of like a quick yearly exam like you would at a human doctor. Fair checks are important because every animal, livestock animal gets them. And the vet has sent off basically saying, I don't think this animal will spread disease to fair. All of our local vets are pretty familiar with it. And they also got their rabies shots. The withdrawal date for the rabies shot. The withdrawal date is the day after, like, you have to pass that date because traces of the drug could still be in the animal, so you couldn't eat them or, like, take any products for human consumption from them. It's only 21 days, so they will be far past that by the time you can eat Oslo. Funny story, the vet I'm using for that, Dr. Sarah of Day 6 Vet Services, does like 4-H talks and a lot of educational stuff for the sheep and goat program every year. This year, her vet talk was on lambing and kidding, which is goats and sheep giving birth. And it was before I knew I was going to be Paris. I didn't even own her at that point. So I just find it kind of ironic that the year she talks about that's the year I decided to breed. What's also funny is this is not the first time I'm embarrassing myself in front of my pet. Kind of like horses are equine and sea lions are pinnipeds and rabbits are lagomorphs or dogs are canines. Sheep are ovine, and I didn't know that. And on the form I had to fill out for species, I wrote lamb. And she asked me why. She's like, don't you know what they're called? I was like, no. Oh, shoot. Sorry. 4-H has us write lamb for everything. She's like, what? You guys are 4-Hers. You should know this. Tell your leaders they deserve a slap on the wrist. Obviously, she was doing it in a joking manner. And so, yeah, I now know that sheep are ovine. I also started working on their fair decorations, and I caught the fleece I'm going to use. I'll take more video footage of that as I get farther along. And I might make a separate video of it, but again, YouTube's not my main focus in life. My physical animals are. So no guarantee. Craft-wise, I also made a sheep halter, probably for Paris, because I'm going to enter it in fair, and after fair is over, I won't have Oslo. Here's what that looks like. Speaking of fair, let's take a look at one of our horses who will be at fair, my brother Oakley's reaction to the sheep's new haircut. He's like, wait, they smell the same, but they don't look the same. Super cute. Oakley, are those the same sheep? What happened to them, buddy? See, they sound the same. I think that's it. Sorry that this video is longer. You know, when I first started editing it, I was like, ooh yeah, this is going to be nice and short. But I guess not. Anyway. Thanks for watching this video.